and welcome once again to Memento Mori Monday. As a matter of fact, I am not as good as a DM as I expected because I wrote what was supposed to be a session that ended up during 3 sessions. And now, last time I said, okay, we are going into the other one, into Act 4, and we did not. So we are getting into Act 4 as of yet because I'm not able to manage my output, and it's not fault of the players if they die as Ronnie is afraid and everybody is afraid. There will be their own doing. I recall the audience that this game is very narrative and also doesn't imply the DM to roll any dice. So if shit happens, it's on the character's bad luck. So
Just just to
uh,
clarify, we're
mhm.
not afraid of dying. We're already dying. We're afraid of dying violently.
Oh yeah, that's um, that's a pretty good distinction to make. But just to give you a little bit of a sum up and not put anybody in the spotlight to make a summary you're not maybe confident with, what happened last time is that you finally left Winchelsea on the quest then Lord Brian gave you, which was to retrieve this artifact in this not really very much specified location, and he sent Grant, his henchman, with you. What happened is that you started traveling in the open fields, going north. At some point, something weird happened because I'm reminding you, we are in late August. And what happened is that a very thick fog rise from the ground, surrounding everything. We got the choreography for no oh fuck, I don't recall the
Expressive
English
dance.
expressive dance, but I meant uh, the alphabet deaf people use. I know
Oh,
exactly the
sign
Italian word
language.
for it. Sign
I,
language.
I,
Yeah,
I,
no,
I
I
can't
meant
do BSL.
ASL. ASL. Yes, I was looking for the acronym. It was slipping my mind.
Well, we
But
have
then again,
BSL. We use both our hands.
yes. Um,
Yes, but
by
like so
means
much
of
of
this,
Britain, by so much of Britain, although we call it BSL, the L is silent.
I'm sorry, but you came in a little bit distorted, so I think I missed the joke.
That's all
It was a
right.
silly
Well,
joke.
Okay. Okay, I'm taking your words for it. But what happened is that this fog raised from the ground surrounded you. You were lost because something cut the rope you were holding on to in order not to get lost and keep following Grant. And you were attacked by creatures that were not really described to you. So now that finally you survived this combat, you reconvene with Grant, you're left with the aftermath of the massacre that this combat was. Of course, this combat took place in a little bit of a swamp, a puddle of decent size. Someone fell in it by hitting their head on a trunk, therefore corrupting their heart, as we recall happened last time. And now the puddle that was turbid water and murky and mud, now it has some red stripes that of course are s- mm, mm, expression of your own blood and the creature's blood that now lie in the water. As soon as I assume, given its nickname Riccardo, but please correct me if I'm wrong, go on to see what these creatures were. As they are laying face down into the mud and the water, you try to turn them up. You feel they are dissolving as you touch them, as they are rotting away by your touch. the skin and the flesh is detaching from the bones, which are turning into dust and then dissolving into the water. You are able to make a general assumption of what these creatures looked like. And given your profession, you would recollect this information and make a comparison with what you've been told about succubus. These incredibly looking women, usually, that are somehow described with having also devilish complexions to their face, maybe elongated teeth, weird looking eyes, but it's just for an instant before, as I said, they start like dissolving as snow into the water.
We vanquished them.
Yeah, but what the hell were they? Where do they come
don't
from?
wish to dwell on such things further.
And as I said before, you're now reconvened with Grant. Grant is panting and huffing, getting to the pond you're in, and as soon as he approaches, all the creatures are now completely dissolved into the water. I told you not to let go, and then you started running away like maniacs. Thank God. I assume you look all right. Was anybody injured?
Mostly off
Yes, took a slight bang, but it's not too bad.
Can you see straight? How many fingers am I holding up?
Yeah,
5.
yeah. I can't count, so that's 2.
Okay.
Actually, technically, I'm being accurate. I'm a monk. I'm a monk. I deal in Roman numerals. That's a 5.
Oh, I was thinking because you are holding up 5 fingers, but 2 of them are higher than the others.
Yeah, I thought you were going that way, and I was really ready to go the other way around. Just to show you.
Actually, it reminded me just as a slight tangent. I was listening to the Scotland Germany game because damned if I was watching that bloodbath on the radio, and afterwards the commentator mentioned after the match had finished, they were mentioning that the German team have just completed their lap of honour, and the majority of the Scottish fans were applauding them as they went round, apart from one fan who seemed to be emphatically convinced that the score finished 2-2. Which I thought was a wonderful way of saying that the fan was sticking the Vicks up at them. I just thought it was a brilliant way of doing it.
Yeah, definitely, most definitely. Okay, so pushing the story a little bit forward, Grant, as once he assessed that you're all able to walk and do not present any visible injury, incapacitating injury rather, sits by the roots of the oak tree that I described last session, and just points back farther north where you're able to actually see the archway you were told. And he again is panting because you assume he came running for his life in order to get back to you and maybe ensuring your safety. As Lord Brian asked you, I can say I brought you to your destination, which is right over there. I'm tired. I'm fatigued, rather. I can, if you don't mind, just walking over there. I'll be keeping an eye on you. just scream for your life to the top of your lungs if anything bad happens, but really, unless the fog comes back again, you should be safe. And once you look, you see that this archway that you were described with the daffodils, etc., is about 50 yards away. So it's not really that much of a impossible distance to walk, even, or if you prefer, of course, given you have horses, bringing and riding there. But again, he says he will keep an eye on you from a safe distance, and then, of course, if you will need him, he will run in your aid.
I think Riccardo would dismount at this point. He would keep one hand, though, near his scabbard, and slowly go forwards.
Already being off my horse, I will follow.
And being on my horse, I will follow them.
Perfect. As I just described, this archway is about 50 yards, 80 yards from when you are, so it's really just a regular walk, a promenade, rather, in the open fields you are now traveling. And as you're getting closer, you are getting a more definite image of this archway, which resembles pretty... I don't know how to put it, but if you were described a wooden archway for a patio or an inner garden, etc., that's exactly what you would imagine. So this archway with very thin wooden planks intertwining together, all painted in white, with these daffodils covering the structure up on top. It is strange that as you keep approaching, as you are getting nearer and nearer to the structure, you feel at first the smell, the aroma of these flowers, the sweetness, etc. As you get closer, there is another layer to this sweetness, which is the smell of decomposing, as it is food rotting somewhere. Before you get to the actual nauseous sense, it is kind of sweet. And of course, the closer you get, the nauseous you are feeling. Not that much to actually incapacitate you, but it's not a pleasant feeling, of course. And getting closer, in between the leaves and the flowers, you are able to see some black masses dripping down from the flowers, as they were actually something leaking from the flowers. But looking on the floor, on the ground, around the archway, you see these black, purplish bubbles this big, moving around. They might seem like they are bubbles out of mud, so they maintain some sort of elasticity before popping. But they keep growing up to a certain amount and then start moving around. If you are close enough, you hear this vicious sound of coughing, like someone with a really bad case of pneumonia, just coughing their lungs out.
What's the ground like? Is it the water? We left the water behind, haven't we? It's solid ground, is it now?
Yeah, it is still actual ground, but it is a little bit muddy because of maybe humidity of the general area you're into. You're not walking actually in water on paddles per se, but it's not that hard as a ground,
So these bubbles are moving on the mud then.
give or take, yes. Are you approaching the arch or keep looking at a safe distance?
I
Wow.
think we've come this far. I think we should cautiously approach.
Yeah. I think we've
What,
got to go up to the arch.
What expression has Grant got on his face at the moment as we
Oh,
approach?
it was left behind by the oak tree. He said it was not coming with you unless you screamed for help.
Yeah, I wasn't sure though if we could still see him like from a distance, but I guess it's
Yeah, but
50 yards
given
as
it is
well,
several yards away, you're not really able to make out how he's looking. He's actually tending at his oars
Okay.
as you look back at him.
Do we trust him?
Well, that's what we've come. Like our brother said, that's what we've come all this way for.
We
I think we should avoid getting some of that black stuff on this.
Yes, I think we should try and avoid that as much as possible. But I think we have to approach. And we've come this far. To come this far and not and hold at the last would seem a wasted journey. And yes, this journey could kill us, but then again, we won't be alive to feel it was wasted.
Well, whoever's
Okay.
in there is still alive.
So I'm under the assumption you are approaching the arch.
Yeah.
I think we should definitely move closer, even if we don't go under it right away. But
Yeah, cautiously approaching, but approach it.
Again, you take your time to approach cautiously rather than stealthily, I assume, given you are in open field. So actually be stealth is not really a thing. And once you are about 10 feet away from the arch, you hear some voices, and you immediately know where these voices are coming from, and they're coming from the bubbles. As you are now pretty close to the arch, you see that these bubbles are actually what you would assume as there's not really a better way to describe it because they are eerie to look at. They're like black fetuses dragging their way with their arms and looking at you. Oh, hello. Oh, finally we have guests once again. and there's about four or five of them. They all look at you with these bulbous eyes, like froggish eyes. Everything is black. They're all black as oh fuck, I'm not recalling the term, just a sec. As star, yes, they're all black as star, but or coal, you might say, but you can make out their general complexions. They have these pretty distanced eyes, very little noses, with the mouths opening and actually talking to you when they're not busy coughing, grasping for hair. Hello and welcome to the threshold.
Hello there.
Hello. What's your name?
My name is Brother Jerome.
Again? Come again, I didn't get your name. I was busy coughing.
My name is Brother Jerome.
Nice to meet you, Brother Jerome. These are your friends?
They are my companions, yes.
Hello, companions. You're both named companions, or you got your own names?
We have our own names. I'm keen to know yours, though. Or is it just lots of coughing?
It's a lot of coughing, and also we don't really have a name on our own. We didn't never bother to give a name to ourselves.
Then what purpose do you have if you have no name?
What?
What purpose do you have then if you have no name?
Our purpose is a pretty high one, because we are designed to help drifters in their journey. And you smell like ones. Am I mistaken? You are drifters, aren't you?
So we're told.
We are travelers, yes.
I'm sorry, I must have hit my head harder than I thought.
So, again, we are sorry about the presentation of this archway, but we are not really in a position to tidy things up or clean things up. Also, it's been a while since we had the last visitors.
And what happened to the last visitors?
The last visitor, I said, what, do you recall what happened? Yes, they came into the archway you're seeing over there. They stayed for about 3 seconds before they ran out grasping for air. Oh yes, that's right, that's what happened. Mm-hmm. And then they ran away like they've seen some ghosts. But I don't think they actually saw a real ghost, otherwise they would have never made it out alive. Again, I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. Our purpose, as you grumpy one was asking, is to guide the drifters beyond the veil, you know. In this place, in this shameful and beautiful place, which is beyond the veil. So if you got questions, you better ask them now, because we won't be able to follow you inside.
Why can't you follow us? I mean, surely the best part of being a guide is being able to show us this wondrous place beyond the veil.
Yeah, you got that right, but what? How do you unawares call it? We are, you might say, some realm of the beyond the veil that was expelled out of this archway, these nostrils. So it's not really our place to get back into there, you know?
That explains all the coughing then. Expelled is right.
Eh? What?
Yeah.
What? But
Indeed.
yeah, the thing is, if we came in with you, something really bad would happen to us. You want to see?
That's why we're here.
But nothing bad will happen to us.
He keeps walking. He keeps walking towards the archway, and as soon as he walks through, he just explodes. As a bubble, as I was saying before, it just explodes, staining all the ground with this uh, blackish, purplish matter. Even some part of your trousers. And another one of these things comes in and says,
Yeah, I mean, we are, you would describe us as lesser things. We are in no position to compete with drifters such as yourself. You were meant to walk the archways, the thresholds to beyond the veil, but we are not.
Tell us about what lies beyond the veil.
Oh, you've never been there. Like,
Not as
not
yet.
at all.
No.
Not here, nor anywhere else.
No.
No. You're in for a treat then. Just imagine a world that is totally made out of fears and despair and fire and stone and death. That's what's waiting for you. Yes. I'm sorry, if you don't mind me asking. Do you have a destination that you're looking for? Beyond that is.
We have
Do you know where you're going?
we have
Or what
something to recover, but we don't know exactly where.
Oh. And what is it you're after?
A cup. Or possibly a
Or possibly a
skull
head.
Oh.
of great power.
Oh. So you would say you are looking for an artifact of sorts, is it not?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that narrows the possibilities. And you are aware about the purpose of this artifact.
If used properly, it could. How best to say? Help people to no longer be travelers.
Yes. I'm sorry, I'm not getting your description as in these things will kill them so they're not able to travel
No.
anymore. They'll just
No.
paralyze them.
No, it will take the darkness away from them.
The what?
This darkness. That which makes us travelers rather than
Mundane.
mundane.
I think you are on to some dog shit. I am not aware of anything that does what you're describing.
And yet here we are.
Again, we are here to help. To help drifters. We will not do them any sort of harm. But I am not in a position to really help you as of yet. So, to make things 100% clear.
I turn to Riccardo. Didn't you say something about being in a castle of some kind?
Player me is thinking.
The master nods in confirmation.
We
You
seek a
were
castle.
told such a thing.
We seek a castle.
Oh, oh yes. If oh, again, because I'm really struggling to help you out here. You were sent on this quest on behalf of somebody else, weren't you?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. We are getting somewhere. When they told you that you're looking for a skull or a cup, that it is held in a castle,
Yeah.
not a fort, not a citadel, a castle.
Castle.
So, okay. And you are telling me that these artifacts were to maybe remove conditions from people?
Yes, they would help you heal.
Oh, okay. That makes a whole lot of sense now. What you're looking for is not an healing artifact. No, you'll be misdirected. Oh, maybe you misinterpreted things. You're looking for a capability enhancer. Whoever sends you on this quest needs this artifact to be more powerful and do what they were told you would do with that. So maybe you were presented things differently. You might believe.
Either way, do you know where it is or not?
Oh yes, given this, if I'm right, of course, with the stuff that I'm thinking, the things that I'm putting together. We're sorry. Oh, yes, you are definitely in the right place. You see, when you walk through that arch over there, stuff will happen. So we're told that upper beings experience some sort of visions and turmoil before actually arriving at your destination, but you will be directly on the trail to the castle you're looking for. You're almost there. It's a matter of minutes now.
Then we will head through the veil. We will head through the archway and find this castle.
Mm-hmm.
Will there be others on the other side that will help us back? Or how do we find our way back?
No. I mean, you will find plenty of beings beyond the veil. Some of them maybe will tell you they're willing to help. They're not in it for altruistic reasons. So I suggest you keep an eye on the door. This door from the other side. And try and remember the path. You don't want to be lost in there unless the stuff will come looking for you. We are told you drift as somewhat tasty to some of them.
We are far from the eyes of God.
Oh, there's plenty of them beyond the veil. I'm not aware of any one of them will being very benign.
Then they
No,
are
what's-
false gods. The real one shall protect us.
We'll see. Those are very real. And laugh at people begging for help. Such as you if you lose the way. But, as I was saying, you should be able to see the castle right away. And if that's the castle you're looking for, you will be greeted by the lord of the castle, whose name I cannot pronounce. And you should show him your utmost respect. Listen what he has to say. And if you will be in a position to ask something of him, just make sure you ask for the skull. That's not a cup you're looking for. Again, if I'm not mistaken with this rubbish knowledge you gave me.
Very well.
I hope to see you soon, walking out of there all in one piece.
I hope so too.
Bye-bye then. Unless you got something else you want to ask.
No. We shall be.
John?
See you soon then.
He says as it is flapping these unformed arms of his.
Shall we say a prayer first, or
I mean, you can try. That's no use. Yes, it's no use.
Lord, guide us, protect us, give us a hint.
yes, a sign would be good.
Amen.
And that's just how God holds sway in this place we're going.
He will hold sway. I have faith.
Okay. So I assume you're walking through the archway.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, before I forget, I wrote that down, but I forgot to mention it. As you are walking through the archway, I assume with your horses.
Oh. I didn't realize it was
isn't
that big.
Yeah.
Okay, because the I just wanted to make it uber duper sure. This thing told you that lesser beings are doomed to a terrible end if walking through the arch. That would be for horses as well.
I mean, I was reluctant to send my horse through anyway because it's a terrible place and it doesn't deserve it.
Yes, exactly.
So whatever the others do, I was planning to leave Jude behind.
I'm not sure any of us deserve it, but
Not sure I'm ready to quite believe that my noble steed is somehow a lesser being, but I will accept.
Well, of course
He's
they
a
are. It's
horse,
Christianity.
He's a horse. He is a majestic beast. But I will leave him behind. Hopefully Grant will take care of the horses while we're...
okay, yeah, if you're going to do that, I was my word.
while we
need
tiptoe through the tulips.
Okay, so you march forward without your loyal steeds following you. The experience of going where you are going, so beyond the veil, is not an easy explanation. Everything goes pitch black, white flashes outlining the surroundings, like you are in the middle of the storm in a pitch black surrounding. Then everything appears in front of your eyes, somehow more vivid and corrupted at the same time. You see a landscape of smoke, rain, desolation. The sky is blood red, and lightning are heard in the distance. You see also that the castle is right in front of you. There are defensive towers observing the road leading up to it, and a bridge lowering to, as you assume, welcome you in.
How far is it?
About 100 yards.
Oh, really close. Okay. Yes, we didn't need the horses after all, so that's good.
Indeed.
You're also getting to the general conclusion that speaking of a castle is to speak highly of the place you're headed into. Also, mainly because you were expecting something more majestic, bigger. This is at a very big fort at best. Okay, it has guarding towers. It has stone brick walls. I'm translating into imperial metric system. About 20 feet tall. Sounds about right.
Don't worry, we can do meters as well.
Okay, 30 meters tall. So it's pretty big walls, very tall, but they don't look that able to withstand, you assume, a siege that you've been told about, or maybe you were unlucky enough to experience. But then again, they are lowering their bridge for you, and in this silent invitation to walk into the courtyard surrounding this fort/castle.
The creatures spoke the truth.
I'm going to just simply flash back the fact that this drawbridge and everything, and the door opening makes this whole castle looks like it's just opened its maw waiting for us to walk into it.
I would rather go in there than look at this blood red sky any further.
Yes.
If we look around us, is there anyone in sight anywhere?
Not that you're aware of. Hope that answers your question clearly as I wanted to.
I don't sense anything.
You do sense something. You're not able to see anything.
Can we hear anything? Is there any?
Just this cracking of thunder coming from a distance, and these you might describe them as whirlwinds coming past you.
Well, it can't be deserted. Someone's opened the gate.
What?
It can't be deserted. Someone's opened the gate.
At this point, I'm not too sure whether I'm more terrified of the idea that it's deserted or the idea that it's not.
Are you approaching and entering the castle at this time?
Yeah, it's the same. We've come this far.
Okay. So, what's the general sensation of being observed that you were experiencing? The questions that you were asking just now. How come the castle is deserted, but someone actually lowered the gate for us to get into? Is not easily is not the right word, but it's easily answered as you see these smoky beings, all the guarding towers. They look like shadows with the white orbs per eyes. You would describe them as very vibrant shadows or black smoke. They just look at you, disappear, and maybe reconvening somewhere else along the walls. They do not approach you, but they are definitely looking down at you.
Do not fall astray. Keep focused.
Oh, I am focused. I am focused on getting the hell out of here.
If you focus on the matter at hand, which is actually entering the castle per se, there is this big double post wooden door with iron knuckles in the wooden planks, which is slightly ajar. You feel coming from inside the castle itself, warm coming out of it, and thin hint of cooked roast beef.
Well, I will say one thing for evil. It sounds like it puts on a pretty decent banquet.
I shall not be tempted by such things. We are here for one thing only, brother.
Hopefully,
I am aware.
trouble.
I am aware.
If these things are guarding this skull, they're not going to give it up easily.
Actually, given the comments made by our friends outside the archway, I'm rather more worried that they do let it go easily.
I am assuming you didn't walk in just yet, unless you tell me otherwise. Just to make everything clear of what I'm getting from your speeches.
But the door's just ajar, just enough for us to squeeze past. Is it?
Yeah, or
even to pull open.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Invitation, temptation, and horrible death this way. Stay for the veal.
He said it was beef, not veal.
We're really going to have a beef about the beef?
I apologize on behalf of the players.
Yeah, don't worry.
Never. No. When I said there would be a death tonight, I didn't say whose it was. It could have been the narrators due to my bad puns.
Oh yeah.
No. Given what those creatures outside the archway said, I'm a little worried now but I don't know whether they were trying to sow the seeds of doubt in our heads,
Hmm.
or whether there is reason to doubt.
We don't know their motives.
No.
I suppose there's only one thing we can do is to enter and hope that we can find answers.
Hmm.
Shall we?
Lead on, brother.
Obviously, my body language of saying "shall we" as if somebody go first is obviously not worked.
Oh no,
I
Riccardo's not taking that crap.
I'll go up to the door then, and I won't walk through immediately. I'll just peek my head around to see what's inside.
Okay.
follow on behind him.
Okay, to push your head into the doorway, you need to
Yep.
pull one of the posts a little bit more for you to peek into.
Okay.
And you see that this main hall, what you assume is a main hall, is completely empty and dimly lit. As you get
Wow.
a full grasp about the setting, you are welcomed with several torches just hanging on the walls, and two big staircases going upstairs and reconvening to another door,
Hmm.
from which comes a slightly brighter light. You assume that maybe there's a big fire in there or more torches per se, and the smell of roasted meat and that you were feeling before is now accompanied with a little bit of spices, maybe wine, definitely blood.
We can't. Oh, blood. Oh, we can't see anybody immediately inside the door though.
No.
The coast is clear, and I'll push it a little bit further open and move in.
Okay. As I said, I stand by my words. What you assume is the main hallway is completely empty from where you're seeing. You're able to get a full visual of the place. You see several doors on the ground floor where you are now. They are closed, maybe locked. You don't know. The one upstairs,
Yeah.
where the two big stairs reconvene, is busted open.
Ah. Is everybody coming in now, or is it just me still?
No, I said I was following him behind you.
Yeah, I do follow. I've moved my hand now very much to the hilt of my sword. I am not liking this.
No, there's not much to like, I don't think.
Can
Okay.
we
Very suspicious.
say we can smell the food from anywhere in particular?
No, it is a smell kind of engulfing the whole
Yeah,
the whole
yeah.
setting. So it
Okay.
it does not have or rather you're not able to determine where does it come from, because it appears to be everywhere.
Hmm.
It is a pretty heavy smell that you're feeling. So is the smell of wine, spices, and blood that I just described to John.
Given my profession and having to deal with a lot of viscous, possibly even entrails or other bodily fluids, from torturing people. Am I able to distinguish again, like if there's a stronger aroma of the blood anywhere in particular?
What I'm saying is that if you are trying to maybe smell the air to see where this smell is coming from, what welcomes you is that every step into the main hall, it's like you are discovering something else. Just to put it bluntly, sorry, like in video games, where you have a general area of perception of your character. You take a step forward, you are able to see something else.
Oh, so you're telling us that the draw distance in this world is crap?
Yes, exactly. As you step forward, you take a couple of steps into the main hall. What you didn't see before just lays on the floor in between your feet, and you see dismembered bodies. That's where the blood smell is coming from. It is a massacre, because every step you are taking into this main hall, you see more and more bodies. Not only bodies, also creatures, as in actual animals. You're able to see horses, foxes, maybe bears, and then something you are not able to describe, like, at all. And if Riccardo is the only one stepping into this room, you see that he is trying and walking into not to step on anything. But given your perception, there's nothing to be stepped on. The floor is clear.
It is almost like some sort of illusion or facade, a trick to the eye. Perhaps they wanted to keep it hidden.
Perhaps.
Or invoke our curiosity.
It's certainly a strange place. We can trust nothing here.
Do the corpses look recently dead?
It looks like it. Most of them.
But what are the animals mixed in?
Given your profession, Riccardo, I would say that the oldest body piece that you see, the one that died the longest ago, that was detached the longest ago, it's not been more than a couple of days.
This was very recent.
Yeah.
Perhaps these animals came in and attacked.
The whole main hall floor is littered.
Giorgio,
Ronnie,
yes. I will sing your name before I say something silly.
no.
No, given my sort of background of being a diplomat and scholar and so on, would that give me any sort of knowledge? I'm looking at the bodies. I'm trying to determine if the lord of the place is amongst the dead. I assume that they would wear finer clothes or a better suit of armor than the regular soldiers.
Okay, so what you're able to see, given also your academic studies, you might say, is that these, what you assume, was a battle rather than a combat or a quarrel or whatever you want to
Yeah.
describe it. How do you say that? Took into account several parties, but they were armed and dressed very anciently.
Okay.
They don't have traditional suits of armor. They mainly have fur coats, maybe some leather.
Okay. Okay.
So it's
I
not
thought
really
it was
able.
I thought it was worth a punt.
Yes, it is, but you're not actually able to gain significant information from what you're given.
Um,
I'm assuming that, as you said, everything is in multiple pieces. There doesn't appear to be any kind of methodical or organized way
Oh, no.
of killing. It's just
It's just
literally
pure manslaughter.
yeah.
And are the weapons still here?
Yes, but they are not in the best conditions.
No, but
Some
it's
of them
not a
are
slaughter.
broken or bent.
It was a
Several
fight
of them
rather than a
are.
slaughter. There.
I beg your pardon?
It was a fight rather than a slaughter. They weren't unarmed when they got cut to shreds.
You assume so, yes. But most weapons are bent or broken. Almost all of them look like they're rusted. As in several years of rust.
The weapons are aging.
That
the weapons
that
are
cannot be.
aging. The weapons are aging. The clothes that they're wearing are of a more ancient time, and yet
But-
it looks like a fresh battle scene.
Extremely fresh. No more than a day or two.
Jojo,
Oh, wait. Anything to do with these smoky guards we saw in the battlements?
possibly. Jojo.
Yes.
Again, this is me fishing, but quite happily turn me down. This is a great hall. Yes, this is a great hall. Are there portraits on the
No.
walls? Darn.
No. Apart from the torches that I described beforehand, the whole fort, even the courtyard, are completely devoid of any sort of nice things.
No decoration at all.
No, yeah, decorations. I'm sorry, I didn't get the word decoration.
Okay.
There are no decorations, nothing to make the place a little bit more pleasant than it is. It is functional.
I think Riccardo would take one of these Hollywood sponsored torches off the walls and look for, because presumably it's not just like they materialized in the Great Hall and started fighting. Like, he's going to look for either like broken windows, or are there any more rooms where the corpses kind of trail in, or signs of conflict from adjacent rooms, sort of thing.
And as you detach one of the torches off a wall, you're able to see a little bit farther into the general floor area. And again, the whole floor is littered. It's not like there are some more corpses here, then you're able to step away, some other corpses. It's just slaughter everywhere. And looking around the premises per se, you're not able to see anything broken, anything forced open, like doors kicked into or windows trashed. No. Again, the double post door that you came into It was ajar, but it wasn't broken. You pulled it open easily.
I deny this vision. It makes no sense, no logical sense. The weapons are rusting, the clothing is ancient, and yet, at the same time, we are to believe that a fierce and violent battle occurred very recently, and yet it was so violent, it tore and shredded men and beast and other in a brutal ballet, and yet no damage to doorways, tables. This makes no sense. It is as if these bodies are here on display, as if they died elsewhere and were placed here.
Or perhaps not so much brought here, but they died here and they have been preserved, or at least the bodies have.
One would agree. But then, did they repair the damage in the ancient? No doors have been broken. Look at the ferocity of this scene. Bodies strewn everywhere, carnage all around us, and yet...
Could it have been those apparitions that you saw, John? As you said, perhaps like any ghost or spirits, they don't need to come through doors the way we do.
Very possibly. They appear to be nothing more than smoke. I don't know if they could pass through walls, certainly maybe under doors.
This unnerves me greatly. We must see if this lord that we were to give our great respect to still exists somewhere in these walls, or the artifact.
I do wonder. That little creature was very adamant that it was a skull that we were looking for. No one has ever mentioned that the skull has been detached yet.
That's a good point.
If you are correct, Riccardo, then our task becomes more bloodier by the moment.
Well, as you know, Bloody is sort of my middle name. But
Is there anything else you want to do in the main hall?
There's no skull on evidence here, is there?
That's plenty.
Yeah, but this is meant to hide the skull.
Sorry?
Is this whole apparition meant to be hiding the skull, perhaps?
Yeah.
Oh. As I told you, there's an open door upstairs and several other doors closed.
That was broken, wasn't it? There was one door damaged, wasn't there?
oh yeah, that's true. You did say.
There was
Yeah. Let's.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the one at the
No,
top of the...
I did say what was damaged?
a door
No,
upstairs.
no. It's busted open, as in fully opened.
Right.
I didn't mean
Right.
broken into. I'm sorry. Completely
That's
open.
I say we walk into the obvious trap. I mean, we go to the open door.
Are you all on board with the situation, with the decision, rather?
Yeah. I don't want us to split up at this point.
No,
No, I don't
no,
think
no, 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 no.
Okay.
I can see the GM salivating at the idea of let's split the
No,
party.
no, no.
But
Okay,
go
whether
ahead.
you choose the left or the right staircase, that doesn't really make a difference. But at the beginning of each, there's a closed door that I told you before. As you approach it in order to climb the stairs up, you see that this door is manned by two of these smoke creatures that John saw
there's
before.
two of these things.
They're only visible once you approach the door. If you don't say anything to them, they look at you. You assume they're looking at you, but they let you go upstairs to this open door, which is also manned by two other of these creatures that I just described. And you see that in the big room that is opening in front of you, there is this big bonfire into the middle of the room itself, Vikings TV series style, like in the for the whole length of the room. And behind it, there's this wooden throne, and there is this ominous figure sitting on it. If you step a couple of steps into the room itself, you see that this man is completely covered in blood. Somehow his face looks like he's covered in coal dust. It is thin yet very muscular, wearing leather trousers, a belt of fur, and a crown made of antlers and wood. So, you finally decided to come and pay your respects after, I assume, analyzing my main hall. Welcome. Welcome to my castle.
Riccardo reluctantly kneels.
I bow.
Bow, yeah, I was going to say bow, surely.
Well, the sword out sort of malarkey.
I assumed that was what you were going for.
Mhm.
And he stands up, just gesturing you to stand up as well, and comes walking towards you. You didn't make it out to be as tall as this man actually is, because once he approaches you, you assume he must be about 3 meters tall, without the crown, etc. But I'd say we will resume in about 10 minutes for a quick break because I am dying of thirst.
Brilliant.
So see you in 5.
Okay.
There you go.
Hello, Ronnie.
Hello.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not usually the first one back. That's good.
Yeah, me neither. Usually I'm the latter. I'm the last one. Hello.
Hello.
Okay. Let's wait for Jayson, and then I will not stretch this session for much longer.
Okay.
Since we are in good point of what should be action session act, whatever you want to call it, number 3.
I have gotten to the point these days when it comes to sessions of getting to an end of a session and just saying, right, that's where that session ends. Let's, rather than have in my head, right, we need to get to this point this session. I've just gotten to the point with games of just saying, right, where do we get to at the end? How far did we travel this time? And sometimes with my players in my Thursday game, that travel distance is not 1 inch because I have 3 players. I have 3 players on my Thursday game who are wonderful and they plan meticulously and they will take an entire session to plan their next.
Oh gosh.
And it's great to watch them. Well, the thing is, they plan meticulously, and they plan meticulously partly because that's who they are, and partly because they know I'm such a bastard that if they don't plan meticulously, they're gonna come up a cropper. So they plan meticulously to the point where I kind of sit there in awe of them at times, just with the way that they're planning. And I'm not one of these people who sort of sits there and goes, damn it, I had that idea, right? And try and change and manipulate it. I kind of salute them and sort of reward their good planning with the fact that it all goes fairly swimmingly. If everything I've planned to happen, they've actually considered and taken steps to nullify.
Aye.
Okay, so if we are all ready to resume where we left off, I don't know whether Jayson had already his headphones on, but I was saying to Phil and Ronnie that I'm not willing to stretch this session much further since we are pretty into what it is that I written down as act number 3. So we can give a conclusion to that. So once we are there, I won't stretch anything any further, since we also said that this would have been a shorter but sweeter session. Okay, so you are welcomed in his humble home by this 3-meter tall king that is now standing in front of you. You see that he has a long sword on his side, sheathed, of course, and he just crosses his arms in front of you. Well, I didn't have much visitors as of late, so I assume you're not here just to pay your respects or regards, but you must be here on what exactly? State your reasons.
We have come seeking a powerful artifact from you. One that will cure our people of these ailments that we have and must endure.
So you're here to rob me?
We have very little information completely as to what we seek, but we have been told to listen and take heed of you. And we shall do so. We do not intend to rob you. You look far too formidable for us to be that stupid.
You got that right. Okay. Let's start
we
from the
intended-
beginning.
If we intended to rob you, we wouldn't have openly told you what we're here for.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right. Also, if you were actually here to rob me, I assume you would have not presented yourself.
Correct.
You would just straight out rob me. So that's the thing. But let's start from the beginning. Is this artifact you're looking for something that will help you or someone else?
Well, we hope it will help us, but it will also heal many ills in our world.
Yeah, like I give a damn. What I meant is, this artifact is to be used by you or someone else. Someone else.
Someone else.
Okay. What's this person name?
Lord Brian.
Lord Brian. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not familiar with a Lord Brian. Even though if he goes by this name, if they go by this name, they are not that curious or inventive to come up with a decent one. But who am I to judge? And this Lord Brian, the Almighty, did they state what kind of artifact you were looking for?
A skull.
Or possibly a cup.
As he you see that he's actively thinking about what you're saying. He just poses an hand out, and a horn materializes in his hand, and he starts drinking from it.
Would this horn be made of bone?
Of actual horn. It is a common drinking horn.
Yep.
It is a nice looking one because, of course, it has some sort of decorations, you assume, of maybe copper, because they don't look like gold. But it looks richer than what you just saw so far around these premises. So let me get everything straight so that I can help you. This Lord Brian told you that I am in possession of an artifact that allegedly could heal people such as yourselves or lesser beings such as, oh, bloody me, what they unawares? Is that the word you go up with? People like you but slightly different than you, not being able to walk these lands.
Yes, that'll do.
Yeah. Okay. If I can be blatantly honest with you, I am not sure that this Lord Brian told you the whole truth. You see, maybe you made up your mind about this place already, given you've been here for what, 10 minutes, 20 minutes? But healing is not something this place and the related things do.
No, but is it possible that healing could be a side effect? If this skull or goblet or whatever this artifact is, if using its power kills the illness, then it would be destroying something, but the side effect of that is that the person with the illness would live. So it could both destroy and heal.
Sounds a bit too philosophical for my taste.
I merely place it as a thought.
Yes, and I definitely appreciate it.
Maybe it works differently where we're from. Maybe here it doesn't heal, but maybe where we're from it does.
That is also a very real possibility.
That could be the case. Are you sure you don't have any more information you could give me?
It does appear we've come without a lot of information we should have had.
Well, Lord Brian was vague. He said that he did not know entirely what it was we were seeking, only that it would aid him in healing others.
Oh, now we're getting somewhere. You see, this Lord Brian you keep talking about, yeah, reminds me of an old acquaintance of mine. Yeah. Someone so coward not to take a stance when needed, hiding information and having others do the dirty work for them. Yeah, but given what you just told me, you are actually seeking something that would make this Lord Brian more powerful, literally.
Do you believe his intentions to be nefarious?
Rather than nefarious, rather obfusc. They're not being thoroughly clear with you all, giving you tainted information, hoping you would make his bid. I don't see any point in hiding information from someone I wish to succeed in their mission.
You
Either
have
way.
not told us your name, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I did not, as you didn't tell me yours.
Our manners, it would appear, my lord, have been overwhelmed by the image of the carnage we saw below. My name is Brother Jerome. May I present my companions, John the Stoic and Riccardo the Bloody.
Taking our the conversation to an earlier steps. Jerome, Riccardo, John, you are welcome in my humble home. My name is Gwyn Upnud.
We accept your hospitality with grace and gratitude.
Talking about the matter at hand, I maybe have something that would aid your quest, my guests. And he puts his hands in front of him, and in his hands materializes once again an object. Rather than a skull or a goblet, you see that in his hand it is a severed head with everything still attached to it, as in eyes, teeth, tongues, nose, ears, etc. He has a little bit of hair, pitch black hair, and even though it is not moving per se, it is like the eyeballs are moving behind the eyelids. You see a slight hint of movement behind these eyelids. You see these. It is indeed an artifact that somehow resembles what you're looking for. It is said to enhance the user's abilities with manipulating powers that are originating from this side of the veil. And I do believe it is actually what you're looking for. But see, since you are not robbing me, I'm not willing to letting go of it. Unless you're willing to pay something. An exchange, you might say.
What would be your price?
You see, I never made it this far. Usually people are so eager to cling on their belongings that they start throwing phrases and names all together without a proper conversation or quarrel, and they, of course, end up as they do. So I never made it this far. But if you're willing to have this exchange, I might say you may be paying in your most precious belongings, giving me, let's say, some of your blood, or you might help me getting rid of an unwanted guest in my gardens.
What is this unwanted guest you speak of?
You see, there is this young lady who keeps roaming in my gardens, seeking for shelter, which I'm not willing to give her. I want you to get rid of her, however you see fit.
May I inquire as... Sorry, let me go.
We just remove her from the castle. We don't have to dispose of her.
If you're able to get her out and prevent her from ever getting back in.
sure we can do something like that. I'm sure the three of us can carry a young woman out of the castle.
Something tells me it will not be that easy. If it were that easy, I am sure this great lord would have been able to accomplish the task himself.
So,
And this, just so we are clear as to the prices that you are bargaining this artifact with, when you speak of taking blood, exactly how much?
enough for me to be satisfied.
A wonderfully vague response.
Of course, I'm not willing to draw more that you will need to function properly.
That's the
Then
sort of
again-
information that's got us into this to start with.
Oh, you want me to give you an exact measurement? All right. Let's say a couple of drinking horns each.
Wow, that's quite a bit.
That's about a pint, maybe two.
I would
Yeah.
say more pushing 2, depending on how big this horn is, and he's 6 foot.
Two-
So
And 2 each. You're talking 4 pints each. You'll be crawling back to the gate.
yeah,
Again, there's no really point in me to debilitate you, given that I have no use of the artifact you're looking for, assuming this is it. And I'm willing to let go of it for a price. If you're not able to take it where you're supposed to take it, what's the point? I might just kill you right here where you stand.
that is entirely within your right here within your home. Would you permit that I speak with my companions? We will discuss together what we believe the best course of action with regards to the two forms of payment that you have outlined.
Please be my guest. And he goes back to his throne, leaving you a little bit more of privacy.
Yeah. It's huddle time.
cute
And,
whole music.
I don't think we should be giving him our blood.
No, but I am rather concerned as to why a dread lord such as him is incapable of evicting one young lady from entering his home.
Yes, she could be another succubus, or worse.
She could. I would say that if we agree to deal with this young lady, we may try and first converse with her to see if there is some way of dissuading her peacefully from entering the grounds before we have to deal with her with more.
How about I propose this, in that you can converse with words and try and persuade her that way, and if that doesn't work, I can persuade her with the blade.
Would seem to be the only way to go.
I think that unless we are able to persuade her, then your alternative will become the only option. But I would like to be able to try and dissuade her and find some peaceful resolution first. I'd like us to get out of here without any blood being spilled, especially our own.
Yes. We have to stop her from returning as well. It's not just enough to remove her.
No, but hopefully, if perhaps there is some impediment that brings her here time and again, perhaps finding some resolution to that will satiate her and she won't return. Perhaps there is some item within the castle that, given, she would leave. There may be a non-violent way of dealing with this whole situation, but I accept that if that fails, then obviously your blades will become necessary.
I would be very interested to know if she was another drifter.
We shall ask for more information when we state our decision. We are agreed upon this course?
I think so.
Yes.
My lord, we have discussed the matter and we are willing to deal with your unwanted guest. However, we wish to have some more information about her if possible, so that we know who we are dealing with.
Not that I know much about this unwanted guest, but ask away.
My associate here is wonders if she is a traveler like ourselves.
Given the time they've been here, I assume not. Even if you're able to walk these lands, you're not able to withstand them for this much time.
Is there some argument, some suit between the two of you that may find some resolution?
No.
We will seek to dissuade her from returning as best we can.
I figured as such.
Damn, he's such a tosser.
So you're willing to deal with my unwanted guest on my behalf?
We are willing to hopefully dissuade her from returning before. We would like to see if we can simply dissuade her by appealing to her before any more abrupt action must be taken.
I would like to see you try. Well, we got a deal then, and he hands down to you.
Yep.
Perfect. So once this is taken care of, the artifact will be yours.
We will do our utmost.
So my guards will lead you to my cloister, to my garden, and we will see what happens next session, if that's okay with you.
Yes.
Mhm.
And that's
Oh, God.
finally the end of Act 3. So we get to change the title of next week's session.
Mhm.
Hey.
Jason will forget to ask next week. Then.
No, he will be asking, then I'll be caught off guard like I always am.
Oh.
Because I won't have it ready. And then I have to scramble and take it ready for him. But yes, that's how we do it in Memento Mori Monday. As always, guys, thank you for dealing with this short campaign / one shot that I wrote for you that is taking way too much time that he
Hey,
should be the next tarot card is the
I'm
High
actually,
Priestess. No, Jayson.
I'm
You want to
actually enjoying it.
Yeah, it's good.
Enjoying it. I'm enjoying this kind of different feel of it, and more importantly, I'm enjoying the fact that the longer this goes on, the more time I have to come up with something for the next person. So I'm because I still haven't decided what I'm fucking doing. So
if it helps you somehow, I am judging no more than 3 sessions, to say the most.
Okay.
Okay.
that doesn't help.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, I could sorry, keep something else for you for a couple more sessions, which will be detached from this campaign. It will be something else. But
I'm just gonna put the thinking cap on finally, and actually, I've got like, oh, I could do this, and I could do that. Oh, I could do this. I'm just going to fucking sit down and say, no, I'm doing this.
either way,
Flip a coin.
Either way, if you need some more weeks, I got prepped up material that I can take here without that much further prepping. So that just keep that in mind in case you are running short on possibilities. But then again, in order to cut the broadcast, thank you for tuning in. If you did, if you didn't, shame on you. Please watch these sessions because we are having a ton of fun. At least I am.
Let's just guilt trip our non-existent viewers.
Yeah, and
All 8 billion of them, since we didn't really have many viewers.
And just to give a little bit of a hint to Jayson for next week title, the tarot will be strength, but we'll see what happens next week. So thank you for tuning in, for maybe watching it at a later date on the YouTubes. Thank you guys for having me as always, and good night everybody. See you next week.
Ta-ta.
Right.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.